want you all to notice Acts 22 and verse number 1. The Bible tells us, Paul said, brethren, now he's addressing the mob. They have gotten quiet. Brethren and fathers, hear my defense before you now. And when they heard that he spoke to them in the Hebrew language, because Paul was bilingual, they kept all the more silent than he said. That word silent is the same silent that we find in the text we just read. The exact same one. The exact same text that we read, 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 12, 11, 12, it's the same one. So now that word silent there, at this time, they were quiet. Why were they quiet? Because they heard him speak in the Hebrew language, the same language they spoke. So now they're quiet at this time. And they want to hear what he said. Now, watch this. Silence does not mean a complete silence all the time. If you notice the context, they are only silent at this time as Paul is giving his defense. They want to hear him because they are impressed that he can speak Hebrew. It is, again, silence. Now, women are to be silent. They don't ask questions while the sermon is going on. They don't start singing certain songs while the sermon is going on. At this particular time, that's when the men and women are to be silent. And if you want to say anything that you affirm and you hear a point that you agree with, the only thing the Bible says you can say, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 14, is what? Amen. Amen. You see, some of y'all may not know that because I ain't hear a whole bunch of amens. Second, this silence is to be with all submission, meaning to submit to the orders or directives of someone. It is to obey. It is to submit, to be obedient to. Now, 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 12. Listen to the restriction again. I do not permit a woman to teach. Greek word there is didasko, or to have authority over the man, but to be in silence. When is she supposed to be in silence? Is she supposed to be in silence in Bible class? No. No. She is supposed to be in silence during worship, but look at the text again. I do not permit a woman to teach. She cannot teach and have authority over the man in a Bible class setting, nor is she supposed to teach and have authority over the man in the worship service. Because God is talking about his order on the role of a woman in the church, not outside the church, but within the confinements of a church. And we're going to get to the home. But we're talking about the church here. She is commanded not to teach at all. But does this mean, now that's why we got to understand this stuff, does that mean that she can't never teach? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because it's obvious that we know in Titus chapter 2, verses 4 and 5, that the older women is commanded to teach the younger women.